Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen at CitizenCon 2954. CIG revealed expanded plans for in-depth crafting and base building. So this gameplay is planned to be coming over the next 12 to 18 months. There's quite a lot going on here. I want to do a bit of a deep dive into what was said and expand that out with a bit more context. So you are going to be able to craft almost everything in game. This is FPS weapons, ship weapons, armor, components, vehicles, ships, space stations, Bengal carriers, fuel and ammo, loads and loads of stuff. However, there are three main sets of things that you need to be able to craft. You need blueprints. So you will obtain blueprints from a variety of sources, from missions, from buying them, from reputation unlocks. You'll be able to loot them. Some are going to be pretty rare, some are going to be very common. Blueprints you find can be added to your character's database or library. I believe all blueprints are effectively non-shareable. And from what I can tell, it's your own personal database, so I'm unsure if you used someone else's crafting base, whether you could use their crafting recipes or only ones that you knew. I think it is actually the latter. It's your own personal database that it would be connected to. So you've got the blueprints for what you want to build. You then need the materials. So materials, some are going to be needed to be refined into processed materials. When refining, you'll put the primary material you want to process in, then a secondary one. That's going to affect the amount of material that you get out. And then you can put a catalyst in as well, which will affect things like time. There are different qualities of materials that you can use for crafting. So you can use like the just basic ones, or you can use like the super high quality ones. The quality and rarity of the materials used in crafting is important because it will affect the stats that are imbued when crafting. So you literally are giving it buffs and bonuses by crafting it with better materials. But it might also affect the amount of materials that are required, stuff like that. So yeah, some of these materials are going to need to be refined effectively, and you can find different blueprints for different refining processes too, it seems. And there's different types of refinery that you can build and get access to. The third thing that you will need is a fabricator of the correct size and type. There are small fabricators for FPS gear, there are larger ones for components. They go all the way up to like hangar-sized ones for building ships. Well, actually, they go all the way up to dry docks on stations for crafting and maintenance of things like a Bengal carrier, which they went, yes, you can build yourself a Bengal carrier. But also, there's going to be specialist fabricators for chemicals, nutrition, fuel, all that sort of stuff as well. Beyond the crafting, you can also upgrade items that you've bought or crafted. So you got your fancy new pistol, and then you can upgrade it. There are 3 tiers of upgrading for most things, and I believe 5 for ships and vehicles. But yeah, so effectively to upgrade something, you will need to research the upgrade for the item. So you've got the item, you research the item at a data bank. You'll go, yes, I want to take it up to the next tier, and this will have a cost in time, it will have a cost in materials, and that's just to actually research the upgrade, and then you can apply the upgrade, which again, I believe takes time and resources. Again, the quality of the resources used here can add additional stats as well to the upgrade path that you are going for. And you'll be able to choose things like for a weapon, fire rate, or accuracy, getting that item to be more focused on your playstyle. But you're also able to craft things like fuses, which are used in ships and in buildings as part of power distribution, and you can build better ones, which will be more resistant, more robust, last longer. The best gear in game will be made by crafting, CIG have said. Now, ships can be crafted, vehicles can be crafted, and they can be upgraded to tier 5. Their components and weapons can also be upgraded separately. And on a side note, insuring a ship and ensuring it's got a warranty after you've invested upgrading and time and money and extra components which are upgraded into it seems wise. Just as a quick recap of that, if you haven't watched my video on insurance, insurance and warranties are effectively separate things. Insurance will pay out the value of a ship in UEC, but if you have a warranty attached to the ship as well, then the insurance, instead of paying out, will instead give you your ship back at those levels. So level 1, just the hull of the ship. Level 2, also any of the components and weapons and stuff that you changed at level 3, basically you're getting the same ship back with any customizations and decorations you also put on it. But that seems to be a lifesaver if obviously you've upgraded all this gear. Also, specializing in a particular type of crafting seems sensible, at least at first, as there is so much to find, buy, upgrade, etc. Over 1,000 blueprints at the moment, or plans for them at the moment. So yeah, they want crafting to drive the economy, aid long-term progression, and also for all this to be tradable with other players. What's this? A Tobii eye tracker ad? Exactly what you wanted. The Tobii eye tracker gives you natively supported high precision head and eye tracking for Star Citizen and a load of other games for that matter. This is perfect for greater immersion in Star Citizen, for looking around your cockpit while in combat, or just quantum traveling around the verse. There's a load of cool bits like Tobii Ghost, so you can see where eyes are looking, or other people can if you're recording it or showing it to like viewers or whatever. But also you got camera boost, which is like mouse acceleration for your head. Until the 28th of October, you can grab 15% off by using the link below. There's also a sweepstake running where you can grab yourself a Star Citizen ship and starter pack. Again, links below. Now, back to the video. Now, that's not all, because you can also build bases. Again, you need blueprints and materials, but also building tools. So instead of the fabricator, you need building tools. So the smallest sort of building tool you can have is the crafting cart, which will fit in a cutter. You push this around, deploy it where you want to start building your base, and then 2 small drones will shoot up in the air and give you a top-down view. You then go, I want to build this building here. It will grab nearby resources. I say it, the drones will grab nearby resources and start building that build. You can only build buildings of the same size or smaller of the drones that you have. So small drones can only build the smallest buildings. But if you had large drones, you could build large, medium, and small structures. But also you'd build structures faster if they are of a smaller type. Nearby resources, they're grabbed automatically, it seems, although you can, I believe, set areas where they're grabbed from. This can take a while as well, but you don't need all the resources to begin with. It will start building and then you can bring more resources as it's building your structure. And what sort of things can you build? Well, tons of stuff. Refineries, fabricators of all different sizes, extractors of all different types for gathering, so liquids, gas, solid extractors for whatever kind of resources are on your land. Power. You're going to need power generators. You can get these in loads of different flavors: geothermal, fusion, solid fuel, solar. The solid fuel ones are quick and easy to make, but require you to bring fuel to them. You'll also be able to have this like power network and connect power to your buildings from your power plants. But yeah, fuel to your power plants is something you need to consider. Power for all your buildings. Fuses wearing out as well. So this is one of the restrictions of how long a structure can operate. It's power, but also fuses. Fuses will wear out over time. Better fuses, they'll take a while to wear out. One of my friends said he wanted to be running around effectively stealing and sabotaging fuses in other people's bases, and I believe that potentially you could do that. Obviously you wouldn't be able to do that in safe zones and safe UE lawful areas where people would pay the taxes, because they'll effectively be invulnerable. And if in the unlawful areas there are defenses, well, you'll be marked as hostile if you're seen, that sort of stuff. You won't have access to the fuses without, attacking them or prying them open. But yeah, better power plants, better fuel, better fuses, they're going to last longer and allow your base to run for a longer period of time without you needing to be there. Structures are also upgradable, so upgrading a power plant will make it more efficient. There are a huge amount of other buildings that you are able to build, including underground hangars, so you can literally have a landing pad, store your ships underground. You can build building hubs, which will have large drones. You can build storage areas. You can build elevator networks. So like these are freight elevators, which are then all connected around your base. So you can build entrances in multiple areas. You can set up shops, sell gear, ships, all that sort of stuff via kiosks, or you can have a physical display where someone can actually buy directly from that. You can sell commodities, crafted items as well. You can set up farming and ranching operations with like massive hydroponics or just areas for raising quasi-grazers, the space cows. You can make massive sprawling bases over time. And you can also decorate the inside of your base with tons of useful or cosmetic items, I should say. There are also foundation decals they showed, so you can basically mark the ground for easier organization, like road markings around your base. You will need a vehicle or building of the appropriate size with the appropriate size drones to craft certain structures. So we know there is going to be that crafting cart, which is the smallest way of getting into base building, that has 2 small drones. There's the CSV FM, the fabrication model, with 2 medium drones. There's the Star Lancer build with 2 large drones. There's a building hub structure with, I believe it was 4 large drones. And then there's the Pioneer, which has 4 extra large drones. The Pioneer has been reconcepted into a base building mobile base factory ship. So it sort of does a lot of stuff and it has a load of facilities on now. Bases have planetary shielding in safe systems, and at max security, they are effectively invulnerable. So in the safe UE territories, as long as you pay your taxes. In more dangerous areas, you're going to have to build defenses. You can get shields which prevent aerial bombardment, walls, turrets for various sort of different things, anti-air, anti-missile, anti-vehicle, anti-infantry. But you won't have the tax burden there, and there might be better rewards in those unlawful areas, which are Nyx and Pyro, basically. You'll need land claims in lawful systems to build bases, and CIG said that you would need to be a citizen, I believe, to do that. So you would need to complete Squadron 42 or the main story in Star Citizen. That's a couple of the ways that we know you'll be able to get citizenship, though you can build much more freely in those lawless systems without being a citizen. Potentially, as I said, better rewards in those more dangerous areas. The base building and crafting gameplay allow you to get involved at any level of the economy, selling materials, be they raw or refined, to someone that's building a base, using your building vehicles to build a base for someone else, setting up a shop, crafting ships for sale, or turning an area into a resupply base. This is all at scale as well. A big org might take over a big chunk of a planet, whereas a solo player might have a resupply outpost in the sticks. There are plans for big org and base wars. You want to dislodge and remove an org out of a system, you need to go after their bases. We do know that there's ways for orgs to compete over seal in the Nyx and Pyro system and basically get a limited time of invulnerability for their bases if they are some of the top orgs that's competing in that every week or month or whatever. But I also suspect there will be times, and this is my assumption, that you won't be able to have an invulnerable base at all. They'll be like, well, actually, all bases are vulnerable during this time, but not in the UE lawful zones. Like, I do think that they are going to be fully invulnerable. Large bases, they could take months to set up, potentially. Small cabin in the woods might take a day. Orgs can use a base as a group. You can set permissions for that, but you can also have a base that's totally solo. There's going to be that permission system that will allow you to sell an area up as a shop and let random players into shop, but mark them as hostile if they start shooting or trying to steal stuff. This is a huge change to the economy, having this deep level of crafting and expansive bases, which will allow you to kind of do anything you want planet side as well, from setting up a huge mining, refining and crafting operation. You could be totally self-sufficient on a single planet, potentially. It's possible that a planet has all the resources you need, but it's also possible that it might be lacking in some and you'll have to import them. But that's just something that will help push the economy. Set up a good shop and a good sort of crafting network where you need one particular resource actually imported and you give a good price for that, then players are going to come along, drop off that resource and potentially buy a load of the stuff that you're crafting as part of a trade route, which will sort of emergently form from player bases. Oh, some other stuff that we did sort of learn. There are plans for resources being exploitable on terrain, obviously. I do not know to what extent a resource is exploitable. So, say you've got iron underneath. Is that limited by an amount of iron underneath? Or is that limited just by the efficiency of extraction? And if it's limited by amount, is it going to be something that you will be able to extract over months? Or is it going to be just weeks, or is it years, or is it based on the actual deposit? Are there percentage chances to get higher quality materials when you are mining them, or do you need better facilities for it? There is a reasonable amount of unanswered questions with bases, but they have outlined a huge portion of the gameplay around them. I'm interested to know if you've got any questions for that. I'm interested to know if you're excited by crafting and base building. Is this something that you go, actually, this is great? A little bit like EVE economy with a lot of this stuff now, at least the original EVE economy. CIG were saying and are still saying it's not entirely just a player economy. There is obviously NPCs. There's a lot going on with the economy behind the scenes. It's player influenced, but it's not entirely player led. Please check out the rest of my videos from CitizenCon. I'll be pumping more and more out of summaries and looking at deeper dives at some of this stuff. We've also got loads of additional questions answered by devs and that sort of stuff, which I will be putting in these videos as we go. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Also, listen to this beautiful potato chap about getting NordVPN. A very long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, CIG had taken over the development of NordVPN. And at NordCitizenCon, the yearly Nord FanFest, they were releasing their first game, Squadron Nordy 2. It's amazing, and it would truly revolutionize the FPS industry. Then I woke up and realized that NordVPN is already great and released, and it doesn't need an FPS module, it's a VPN. And you should get it now, links below, discount. Helps channel, read bullet points. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For October, it's for a Drake Corsair with a game package and lifetime insurance. All you have to do to be in for a chance of winning that lovely Star Citizen access and ship that can be used for exploration, but it's also this cool little multi-role, multi-crew ship. You just need a comment on any of our videos made during October. That will go into the hat. It's not a hat, it's a spreadsheet. It goes into that, and then a random person is chosen. With the addition of Alpha 4.0 and Pyro, there's going to be tons more to see and explore. The Corsair is perfect for that. Good luck. Please consider supporting the channel as well. We've got the join button under our videos that will make you a channel member. That goes a long way in supporting the channel, as does becoming a Patreon. It's pretty much the same thing, but for different mediums. You can also like, comment, share, or sub, things like that. That all helps with the channel hugely. Thank you so much for your support and watching, and I hope you have a great October.